6Music.
6Music.
Get your theory, know your time. Don't you worry, weather's fine. Get your theory, know your time. Don't you worry, weather's fine. All the world knows what I'm saying. All the world knows what I'm saying. The world will find
Music with me, Nick Luscombe, and my guest Gary from Future Sound of London. So that was Donovan. Where did you pick that up from? Where did you first hear that?
Well, about 6 years ago, we became increasingly tired of the amount of money we were spending on records, and we both were living around Brick Lane and began to frequent the Great Market there on a Sunday, and began to pick up just, it's a wonderful kind of waste bin of kind of vinyl down there, and you can buy 20 great-looking records with fantastic sleeves, for like £1.50. And this suddenly began to be the kind of panacea to the glut of the way that music was becoming very expensive. Sure. So we started to, I guess, to experiment a little bit with what we were buying again. And we picked up Donovan, and from there, the trail just kind of got deeper, really. Donovan was one of many musicians who had a kind of a cosmic consciousness that was kind of prevalent in the late 60s going into the 70s. That was something we were beginning to get very interested in, and it was just a lot of sort of coincidences with him, and then we kind of we wrote him a letter about our album, and he wrote the liner notes for the Isness, the Amorphous Androgynous album. I wrote him a letter and sent him the album, and he played it to his family, and they all kind of dug it, and one day there he was on the phone, and he's become a bit of a friend, really, and
That's
kind
excellent.
of an inspiration. He's a guy that will take you from the Maharishi through Nepal and back again, all in the spate of a breath. He's kind of quite an inspiring guy, and a perfect guy to write the liner notes, because we didn't want anybody that was too rational. We wanted kind of free-form love poetry, And
you got that.
We really got that, yeah.
Next piece of music you're going to play is Feel the Spirits, yeah? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can't tell you a whole lot about it, because what I do these days is I just put all my records into my computer, of course, and I just lose completely who they are. But I do know this is on an album called Folk Explosion, and it's called Feel the Spirit, and more than that, it's very beautiful.
What can we share with you today? Would
Would you like snowflakes that sing, or presents from the king? We feel the spirit rising fast. He's speaking rhymes filled with signs. When will they come to pass? Feel the spirit. Feel the spirit. Walking down the street of life, or do you feel the spirit? We were meant to see all of the December's frost is here to stay, and icy thoughts moving in take all the warmth away. We have our young live our lives, but they can't see through our eyes, so their hearts don't die. Our babies feel the spirit. They need to feel the spirit. Skipping down the street of life, our babies feel the spirit. We were meant to see all of the beauty, all of the beauty. Do you see the beauty? You can't see the beauty. Those eyes of yours, touch my hand and tell me that you see the beauty. You can't see the beauty. You just can't see. I see it. Sometimes you see.
This is 6Music with me, Nick Luscombe, and my guest, Gary, from Future Sound of London. So when you said just before we played that track, which was interesting, and I wonder, you said that, you know, a lot of times with putting music into a computer, you don't really think about what the titles are called. In a way, that's kind of taking music in a purer way, isn't it? It's like when you're a kid and you listen to the radio, you don't really care who it's by. If you like it, you like it. And do you find that increasingly?
Absolutely. From many different angles, really. I've never really been... I'm a lover of music, but I'm a lover of the discovery process. And the discovery process, I'm a kind of a warrior to keep that alive, really. I kind of go into shops and I fight for them to have turntables where you can listen to the music.
Yeah.
And so that you can kind of go into, for example, a second-hand shop, which most second-hand shops are becoming very expensive now for vinyl. and they don't allow you to treat them like a treasure trove.
Yeah.
So I'm very much a warrior for keeping that alive. And yeah, absolutely, I don't really care who it's by. I just kind of go on sort of, there's some definitely initial signposts. I like a good cover.
Yeah.
I like some aspect that these days I particularly like an aspect of that there's some kind of spirituality present in the music, some kind of positive spiritual kind of cosmic consciousness aspect, which is the kind of vibe that I'm kind of going on. And you can kind of really get that impression from the kind of artwork and the way they're putting themselves about on the record.
I want to talk to you more about your music after
Yeah.
we've heard the next piece of
Okay.
music you brought in, which is Black Sabbath. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. Well, this is one of those beautiful occasions, you know, you walk into a record shop and they're playing something and it's great, and it seems like it was meant just for you. And this is Black Sabbath, Planet Caravan, and it's a great example of a weird song, you know, because in this day and age we are besieged by not very weird songs, because the idea is to get people to buy them, so let's
Yeah,
be as
yeah.
basic and as straightforward as possible. So that means no really kind of out there lyrics and conceptual philosophical bent to the lyric, and it also means not particularly an interesting mash with the kind of backing. And I think there's a really interesting area where I think, and I'm beginning to see it more and more now actually, where the song is being deconstructed in terms of in the backing and the vocal. So this is a great example of that, I think.
Shine like eyes, the black night side, the moon in silver dreams pours down in peace, light of the night.
This is Nick Luscombe on BBC Six Music, SixMix, and I'm here with Future Sound of London. I don't know that track at all. Was that Ozzy singing on that one?
That isn't Ozzy Osbourne singing, not that I particularly know or care. But funny enough, I was doing a car boot sale with my girlfriend, and she's got an old Saab car, and we set that up and put all her sort of dresses that had become defunct around the car and hung them from the doors. And people were kind of coming and saying, wow, Woodstock. I really remember that. And we were playing this track, and a kind of a goth girl came up who was, funny enough, we were talking about train spotters. This track attracted, of course, the Black Sabbath train spotter. And she started becoming misty-eyed, talking to me about Black Sabbath, their heyday, Ozzy Osbourne, various gigs she'd seen, which album it was from, bootleg rarities. And, of course, I zoned out because I'm not really that interested. This track is phenomenal. There is a reason why I found it. It just sounds incredibly modern to me. It sounds very abstract, very cool. What more can I say, really?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm really interested in the way that the music you've played so far, you know, it kind of fits in a little bit with your last album.
Yeah.
Which I've got to say is one of the best things that's come out of this country in a long time, I think.
Wow, that's really
And it's just a really great album, really complete, and it works as an album. And a lot of records don't do that these days, I think. I mean, do you see the connection between maybe these older records and what you're doing now as a producer?
Absolutely. If I could write these records, I would, and that's the beginning of the process, the frustration. Obviously, you know, funny enough, you know, when it comes to releasing an album or writing an album, the first thing I do is I sit back and look at the new releases, and I think, they're going to get there before I do. They're going to do what I'm going to do. And I'm kind of lazy because I don't want to do it, really, because it's going to be a hell of an emotional trauma to make this album. It's going to take me out on a limb. It's going to take me places that I don't want to go, away from home, countries and people. It's an adventure, sure, but it's going to push me, you know. We don't like to be pushed sometimes. I don't. So I look at the new records, and years ago I used to look at the Prodigy and the Chemical Brothers and think they were going to make the wonderful psychedelic masterpiece, and they didn't. And then gradually I began to resign myself that I was going to have to make it. And I didn't, but I'm trying. And I sort of start looking at records that other people have made that have elements of what I really need, that I'm making, I mean, in a really simple, really cutting it down to real grassroots level, which is what we're talking about here. It's music. Does it make me burn and make my heart sing and make my mind stop with all the crap that's going on there and just make me love and enjoy and be here, you know, on a spiritual vibe? And these records do, and they're just very great signposts that, to me, of little elements of what I would like to do, really. I think all the production of what I'm playing, it all has an element of FSOL, really. There's a kind of a deep depth and abstraction. So isn't that what's music, isn't that what we should be doing as the future sound of London?
Yeah. Your next track is from the Cocteau Twins.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of use guitars in a really, I don't know if they use them in a computer kind of way, but certainly in a really affected way, which is quite unique, wasn't it?
Well, I think, you know, in the 80s there was that whole mystique about Robin Guthrie. He had, you know, similar to the Aphex Twin, I guess, that they all play this kind of mystique of their technology, you know. It's the male game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's tape up the technology and make you think it's very mysterious, you know. Robin Guthrie played that game in the 80s. He had hundreds of foot pedals under taped things that you couldn't see, and his sound was very unique. And yes, I mean, again, they're very, what I term, outer-worldly, otherworldly musicians. There's a whole spate of them. Musicians that have a talent. Liz Fraser is one of them. Jimi Hendrix is one of them. Donovan was one of them. There's a list of them, actually. And the Cocteau Twins very, very neatly fit into that bracket.
Okay, that was Cocteau Twins, chosen by Future Sound of London. And wanted to ask you, actually, there's a mix going to be coming up after your next choice. But I saw you play at a kind of big chill event that took place in London a couple of years ago now. And it was unlike any DJ mix experience I'd ever witnessed. And it was incredible, really deep and very layered. How do you describe that, and how have you come to kind of present your DJing in that kind of style?
I guess I'd term that a personal struggle. In that you have to pick the place carefully, or just be prepared to be shot down. That experience was absolutely quite amazing, actually, because what I didn't realise was there was huge balconies upstairs, and there were actually quite a lot of people up there.
That's right.
But from where I was sitting, everybody just cleared out.
Oh no!
So I just saw a cleared floor. It started off packed and it was empty, but it was only like a week later that I found that actually there were hundreds of people upstairs really digging it, and gradually they came forward, and that was great. Yeah. I just sort of stick up for the right to play music that I believe. I mean, I try and make people dance and freak out, but the more that I've kind of become free in my kind of being with the various things I've done over the last sort of 6 years, the more that I find I'm able to dance to anything, really. You know, and you know what? I think women generally can dance to anything. I just think it's blokes, unfortunately, who they rule the roost from their heads, and they evaluate music from ways that women don't. And there was a great moment actually at my sort of 30th birthday party where I just sort of played this sort of music, and women were dancing, and gradually the men joined in and realised they could have some fun, you know, rather than working out what was cool first. You know? Right.
Well, we're going to hear your, well, I call it a mix, but what do you call it? I mean, it's not really fair to call it a mix. It's
Well, we call them a monstrous psychedelic bubble exploding in your mind, which kind of sums it up really. Or we call it cosmic space music,
right?
Of every kind, because the idea is we're standing up for the freedom of using technology and the whole history and library of sound to try and create something that is startling, really.
Well, we'll look forward to that. But you've got your first. Oh, sorry, I'll say that again.
And of course, we also put loads of voice in there as well, which I get from kind of gurus and comedy and things that are saying things to me as well, to kind of give the music a kind of a free-form poetry vibe as well.
Superb. So we'll listen to that after your final choice from Leon Russell, is that right?
That's right. Actually, this is a good chance to bring in, of course, you say this is the future son of London here in the studio today, and of course it isn't. It's Gary Cobain. There is another very significant half of future son of London, and that is my brother, Brian Dugans, hopefully listening to this.
Yeah.
And this record actually brings him nicely into the fold, because this is one of those records that he bought from Brick Lane. I've envied it since he's bought it. I've tried to buy it. I bought 10 very bad Leon Russell albums in the attempt of buying this, because every time I see a Leon Russell album I buy it, hoping this track is on there, and it never is, and I'm totally jealous of that record. So we'll dedicate this one to Brian, I think.
He lived on the outside of town. Hollis Brown, he lived on the outside of town, with his wife and 5 children in the cabin broken down. And the baby's eyes are crying loud, and now pounding on your brain. Baby's crying louder now, it's pounding on your brain. Yeah. Wife screams, stabbing like a dirty driveway. We out in the wilderness, a cold coyote called, yeah. We out in the wilderness, a cold coyote called. Your eyes fixed on the shotgun that's hanging on the wall. 7 breezes dead on a South Dakota farm. 7 people dead on a South Dakota farm. Well, somewhere down the distance there's 7 new people born.
is 6Music. From the BBC, this is 6Music.
The future sound of London. Cosmic space music.
And if you could hear the whispering of the dream, you would hear no other sound.
I love you, Daddy.
I want real gut reactions. I want the audience to have gone through an experience. They love me, they hate me, they walk out. It's all great.
They say you have visions, that your life flashes before your eyes, that all your dreams come true.
The future is so much more interesting than the past, don't you think?
Tired of the future.
This is the SixMix on BBC 6Music, and I'm with Gary from Future Sound of London. Bringing it up to date with your music, we haven't really talked much about your album, and it's kind of been reissued, hasn't it? Can you tell us a little bit about that? What's the new package with the album?
The Isness took 5 years to make, and it was a hell of a kind of a process, really. There was never going to be a definitive kind of statement on that album, because being in the Future Sound of London has a kind of a negative slant in that there is so many different ways to approach a track, you know. So we always felt that we hadn't really got the definitive of it, and we never will, and we kind of allowed it to be an imperfect kind of statement. That was a kind of a resolution we made at some point in the process. So the Otherness, which we've now released with the Isness to form the new version of the album, is merely different perspectives on some of the same tracks, basically, to show just how many ways there are to peel this onion.
Yeah. This is BBC 6Music and the 6Mix with Future Sound of London. Thanks very much indeed, Gary, for coming in.
Thank you.
This is 6Music, and you're listening to the Future Sound of London.
Thank you so very much for giving me the opportunity to get to know myself so much better. Now to return the favor.
In the mix, this is the 6Mix.
The future sound of London. Cosmic space music.
Wishing it all would remain free. Free like rhythms of water bathing within rhythms of light, and eventually evolving into a rainbow of life. With colors of orange, yellow, and green, they reflect all rhythms of dreams. And rhythms of sound blend with rhythms of space, which create rhythms of joy and rhythms of sorrow that become one, become one, become one, become one, become one, become one, become one.
It is what we believe. It is what we believe.
No, 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 that's bullshit.
Now close your eyes. And if the thoughts of this world come into your head, don't be upset by them. It's just your stress unraveling itself. Just slowly come back to the mantra.
It is what we believe.
I knew your joy in your pain, and in your sleep, your dreams were my dreams.
This is the Future Sound of London, and if you want to get in touch with the show, just log on to www.bbc.co.uk/6music.
The future sound of London. Cosmic space music.
The words falling from those lips, and his eyes. His irises were clear cylinders of surprising depth and emptiness. Only a few puddles of bluish pain sloshed around inside. Same blue as my eyes.
And now we'll place the blue crystal. Very high vibrations. And it's wonderful, wonderful for its healing powers.
The future sound of London. Cosmic space music.
How sweet to be a cloud floating in the blue.
Now slowly open your eyes.
My heart is radiating pure energy.
6Music, 6Mix.
You're listening to the Future Sound of London on the 6Mix.
I believe love is immortal. If love creates something that was not there before.
I said love!
Love one another. Love is sweet as honey.
I said love!
Love one another. Love is sweet as honey.
What is love? Is love pleasure? Is love desire? Is love a memory? What is love? What is love? What is love?
I said love! I said love!
Future sound of London. Cosmic space music. The future sound of London. Cosmic space music. The future sound of London. Cosmic space music.
Are we rolling? A one, a two, a three, a four.
In the mix, this is the 6Mix.
Sound of London, and if you want to get in touch with the show, just log on to www.bbc.co.uk/6music.
Is that it? Jesus, it's a bit heavy, isn't it?
The people all dig it, and even the kids dig it. And it's a great scene, and even the dogs dig it. And the whole sky digs it. And infinity, infinity, infinity.
I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through all these highs and lows. I heard there was no sickness and no toil or danger, just mercy and plenty, where peaceful waters flow, where peaceful waters flow. Come all you fair and tender schoolgirls, be careful now when you court young men. They are like the stars on a summer morning. They sparkle up the night, and they're gone again. Daybreak gone again. I wish I had the wings of Noah's pretty little white dove, so I could fly this raging river to reach the one I love. But I have no wings, and the water is so wide. We'll have to row a little harder. It's just in dreams we fly. In my dreams we fly.
I can hear you crying. I have watched you running empty-handed through the labyrinth of life, pounding at the silent doors of living. You have no aim. You don't even understand what you're searching for. But there must be a meaning, or there is nothing. Stop running now. Stand still and listen. There is an answer for the man who really wants to know.
Six Music, Six Mix.
The future sound of London. Cosmic space music.
So what do you have here? A big elaborate joke that's only funny to two people in the universe. You and you. 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 Look in my eye and tell me this is true.
We want the truth, boy. The truth.
Sexist remarks, the foul language, they're just not becoming of an individual of spiritual enlightenment.
Listening to the Future Sound of London on the 6Mix.
Everybody's looking at me funny. I feel like I'm being surrounded by negative energy.
To be free, one must give up a little part of oneself.
No, I don't think you do.
Oh, I don't understand. I understand.
No, I don't think you do.
Oh, I don't understand.
I put my hand on her knee and she says, do you want to see? I put my hand on her breast and she says, do you want a kiss? Gently, 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 Johnny. Gently, Johnny, my jingle. Gently, 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 Johnny. Gently, Johnny, my jingle. I put my hand on her thigh and she says, to try. I put my hand on her belly, and she says, do you want to fill me gently, 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 Johnny, gently, Johnny, my jingle, gently, 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 Johnny, gently, Johnny, my jingle.
Would that you could live on the fragrance of the earth and be sustained by the light.
In the mix, this is the Six Mix.
Gentlemen, please, you have all just participated in a happening.
Which were popular around about the early 1970s.
How can I not have seen this?
He brought you up to be a pagan.
A heathen, conceivably, but not, I hope, an unenlightened.
I look forward to a day when we are pagans again. I think we'd have a much better time of it. I think we'd have a lot more fun, but not only fun, a lot more belief, a lot more faith, a lot more immediacy with the things unseen.
You're listening to an exclusive mix by the Future Sound of London, and if you want to know what tracks they're playing, just log on to the website, which is www.bbc.co.uk/6music.
It is what we believe.
The future sound of London. Cosmic space music.
That was Future Sound of London in the mix here on BBC 6Music. Gary, can you tell us a few of the tracks that you just played there?
What was that? Is what you'd like to say. Okay, we've got various things in there. Bits of my new album are kind of dotted throughout. So there's bits of Amorphous Androgynous, Alice in Ultraland, which is my new album. But we started with Cellophane Symphony. Don't ask me how or when. Just another kind of random pick-up on a market. Miles Davis, various things from Panther Lasso, really great album. Mahavishnu Orchestra, really kind of rocking our boat right now with their kind of blend of otherworldly musicianship. There's something called Free Sitar, which is just some crazy sitar with Moog experiment. Then there's Amorphous Androgynous, The Prophet, Bob James, Nautilus, Dorothy, Ashby, African Vibes, something else from Miles Davis, Dark Manga, a little bit of Genesis that I kind of butchered, bit of Funkadelic, a bit of Joni Mitchell, I think that one's called The Silver Veils of Ardour, a bit of Jerk Machine, a little bit of Third Ear Band, something from the Wicker Man soundtrack, a fantastic film and soundtrack again. A lot of people kind of really getting into that now. Yeah. And then we finish off with Amorphous Androgynous, Billy the Onion, new track from my forthcoming album, and something again from Mahavishnu Orchestra, and then rounding it up with yet another one of mine, Amorphous Androgynous, Air.
Thanks very much. That's been pretty incredible kind of collection of music in there. And the album is out now and thoroughly recommended. And thanks again for joining me today, Gary.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity.
is 6Music.